Now, my background is among various things. One of the things I did was as an industry analyst, industry consultant, a management consultant, worked for large multinationals, analyzing entire industries, very, very complex industries. And when I started looking at India studies, I brought many perspectives. One of them was the perspective of looking at it as an industry. And I was surprised nobody had done that. Nobody had really looked at India studies as a knowledge industry. When you look at an industry, you look at production, distribution, retailing and consumption, and you come up with what are the segments, what are the specialties for each of these, and how are these things controlled. Is it vertically integrated? Is there somebody who controls the production and the distribution such that it's almost like a cartel or a monopoly? I'm going to raise that issue here. So the knowledge production, to do that, to analyze it, one has to look at academic research and think tanks. To look at distribution, one has to look at journals, conferences, academic presses, reports. These are the channels through which they are distributed. And retailing happens in classrooms, media, etc. And one finds upon analysis, and I'll bring this out later, that a certain group of producers tend to control these journals, conferences, academic presses, reports. So really, if you want your work to be distributed, a certain producer or club of producers, you have to actually say something that they will accept because they control the distribution channels. Now, mind you, if something like this happened in the regular industry, it would be a case for antitrust action. If a certain producer of clothes had control over dominant retail channel distribution and others were denied access, or if somebody like Walmart that owns a large amount of retail shelf space for shoes and clothes and various kinds of consumer goods, if it could be shown that they actually have an interest in a certain kind of producer of these goods, and then that vertical integration would give them control over a critical bottleneck, and that would be grounds for antitrust action. This sort of question even has never been raised. So I'll talk about that, and of course I discussed the role of business, government and church in funding all these things, in funding the production of knowledge, distribution of knowledge, retailing of knowledge. So my methodology comes from a very formal discipline of management consulting, and that's the methodology I used to study this industry. So I'll give you some of the highlights of my conclusions. I'm planning a book which will have a lot of data and facts and all that stuff, but I want to give you some highlights today and then we can discuss.